Ready to dive into Bloodshot?
Oh, absolutely.
Not the comic books this time, but the 2020 movie, you know, the one with Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
We're breaking down all those YouTube transcripts you guys sent in, and let me tell you, this is not your typical superhero flick.
No, not at all. What grabs me every time is how they handle memory manipulation. I mean, superpowers are cool and all, but messing with someone's identity, that's where things get really interesting, really makes you think.
For sure. So we meet Ray. He's a soldier. Right out the gate, he's in this crazy hostage situation. High stakes.
Yeah, right from that mission in Mombasa, you can tell he's in a dangerous world. And that thing he says about home, I always come home.
Right. Makes you think he's just a good guy, a soldier who misses his wife.
There's always another layer with this film. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
He doesn't exactly make it home the way he thinks he will.
Yeah, he gets killed. And that's where Rising Spirit Technologies, RST, they come in.
Talk about next level tech, right?
Right. Seriously. They're all about rebuilding wounded warriors, but they take it to a whole new level. Nanotechnology, prosthetics, you name it.
And Ray, he's like their star project, their masterpiece. But they don't just patch him up, they bring him back from the dead.
With those nanites, right? Those microscopic robots in his blood. It's insane. His blood is basically a super-powered healing serum.
It's an incredible concept, exhilarating and terrifying at the same time. Imagine the strength, the resilience, but what's the cost? In Ray's case, it's his memory, wakes up, no idea who he is, can't remember his wife, nothing.
And RST, well, they see that amnesia as an opportunity. They basically get to build his reality for him.
Which is a terrifying thought when you really think about it. Your memories, your grief, your love, all manipulated. They turned him into a weapon.
They fabricate this whole thing where he sees his wife murdered by this mercenary. So obviously Ray, he's devastated. Anger, it's what they use to control him.
He becomes their puppet, taking out targets without question.
Yeah.
But, and here's the thing, even though we know it's not real, we still feel for him, you know?
Absolutely. Okay, but let's talk about Wilford Wiggins for a second, that eccentric coder at RST.
Oh, he's fantastic. He's like the tech world's quirky genius.
Right.
You just know he's going to shake things up.
Total wild card, but hilarious. The little pop culture references, they really lighten the mood.
Yeah. Even he knows how insane this whole situation is.
Exactly. But then we're slammed back into the seriousness of it all when Ray hunts down that mercenary. Brutal. Efficient. It's exactly what RST wanted.
But, and you knew it was coming, things aren't what they seem. Bloodshot loves to mess with our expectations.
Big time. Just when you think Ray's found some closure, boom, he stumbles on the truth. All his memories, totally fabricated by RST.
It's KT, another enhanced soldier, who finally blows the whistle. Talk about a moral crisis. She shows him how they've been using him, wiping his memory after every mission.
How do you even process that?
It's like your whole world just explodes, right? Everything you thought you knew about yourself, gone. And Ray, he totally snaps.
Yeah, who wouldn't? And remember those other enhanced soldiers, the ones RST was so proud of?
Right. They're sent after Ray, and that's when the movie turns into an all-out action fest.
Seriously, car chases, explosions, Ray using his nanites to turn everyday stuff into weapons. It's insane, totally breaks the laws of physics. But even with all that going on, the movie never lets us forget those deeper themes.
It's true. They could have gone full-on mindless action, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Like that part when the power goes out in the facility.
Oh, yeah.
Wiggins, smart cookie, creates that blackout, gives them a chance to escape. But it's more than that, isn't it? It's like a visual representation of free will pushing back against control, even the most advanced texts.
And that's when things get really interesting for Ray. With the power out, those fake memories start to glitch.
The darkness literally peels back those layers of manipulation, and he starts seeing flashes of his real past, his wife Gina.
Yeah, and that's a whole other twist, right? Those real memories, they're not exactly a happy reunion. Turns out Gina, she moved on.
Built a life without him. Imagine that, 5 years, you think you've moved on, and bam, he shows up again. Completely different superpower.
Talk about awkward. And of course, RST is still after them, so now you've got this intense action mixed with some seriously heavy emotional stuff.
Absolutely. Ray's stuck between wanting to protect Gina, wanting to know his past, but also dealing with the fact that he's this weapon RST built.
So does he manage to escape again?
He does, but not without consequences. He's forced to face what he's done, what RST made him do.
Yeah.
It's a turning point for Ray. He's not just reacting to those fake memories anymore. He's dealing with his own choices.
Okay, this is intense. You're right. This is not just a dumb action flick.
Nope. This is about choice, the illusion of choice, really, the ethics of all this technology. Ray's journey, it makes you think about How much we're willing to sacrifice for progress. Where to draw the line.
For sure. But come on, what happens next? Does he go after Gina?
He does. He needs to know the truth about their life, those missing years. It's that basic human need to connect with your past.
Even with all the tech, all the manipulation, he's still driven by the same things we are. He just happens to be able to rip a car door off.
Exactly. Which I'm sure comes in handy, because RST, they are not giving up on their weapon. They show up ready to drag him back.
So he finds Gina. What's her reaction?
It's a tense reunion. Imagine being Gina. This ghost from your past just appears, and he's not the same man she knew.
And RST is breathing down their necks the whole time.
Yeah, they're not going to give up easily.
Yeah.
Trying to protect Gina and her family, but he's still that weapon RST made him.
So does he get away again?
He escapes. It's not clean, though. He's changed. Those consequences force him to see what his actions have done to other people.
Man, it sounds like Ray can't catch a break.
That's an understatement, right? And that's what Bloodshot does so well. You start asking yourself those same questions. What would I do?
Okay, you got me hooked. So where does he go? What does he do? So last we saw Ray, he was escaping, but with a lot of baggage. Guilt, confusion, RST on his tail. Where does he even go from here?
He goes to the one person who gets it, Wiggins. They realize they can't just run. They have to take down RST for themselves and for all the other potential Bloodshots out there.
So it's bigger than just them now.
Oh, absolutely. It becomes about the future. Think about it. A world where soldiers are basically just programmable weapons, no memories, no free will, nothing. That's what they're trying to stop.
And they go right for the source, RST's mainframe. But there's no way RST is going to just let that happen.
Are you kidding? They throw everything they have at Ray and Wiggins, cutting-edge security experimental weapons. It's insane.
Talk about the ultimate test for Ray's powers. But like you said, he's not just reacting anymore. He's of RST's tech against them.
And he starts to do things with the nanites that even RST didn't think were possible. It's like he's evolving, breaking free from that programming. But then RST, they pull a dirty move. They capture Wiggins.
No, not the tech whiz.
They use him to try and force Ray to surrender. It's brutal, man. They're really putting Ray through the ringer. What would you do? Sacrifice your own freedom for someone else's life.
Heavy stuff. There's no easy answer to that.
No, there isn't. Ray knows he can't let Wiggins die, but he also can't let RST win. It's lose-lose right now.
So what's the loophole this time?
This time, there's no escaping the consequences. Ray realizes he can overload his nanites, create this massive EMP blast.
So he's willing to sacrifice himself to stop RST?
It's the only way he sees to ensure they can't make more Bloodshots. But remember, Wiggins is no slouch when it comes to tech. He figures out a way to save a copy of Ray's consciousness before the EMP hits.
Wait, so even though Ray's physical body,
a part of him lives on, in a way, it's both incredible and a little terrifying, don't you think? What does it mean to copy someone's consciousness? What are the implications?
So many questions, and that's why I think Bloodshot is so effective. It takes these huge ideas, this cutting-edge technology, but at its core, it's a story about what makes us human.
Exactly. And even when tech tries to blur those lines, it's still about the choices we make, the sacrifices, the consequences of those choices.
It really makes you think, what would I do with that kind of power? Would I use it for good, or would I become the very thing I was fighting against?
Wow, what a wild ride this deep dive has been.
Intense, thought-provoking. Bloodshot really delivers.
It really does. And that's it for our deep dive into Bloodshot. Be sure to hit us up on social media, let us know your thoughts, and until next time, keep those minds curious.